Welcome back with our main topic today in the breakfast show. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that Egypt, represented by the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, won several international awards in the field of using communications and information technology in order to integrate and empower people with determination and special needs, reflecting the international appreciation of Egypt's policies in support of human rights principles and its commitment to its international commitments. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to host this morning in the breakfast show our dear guest, Dr. Monem Sharkawy, chairperson of the National Academy of Information Technology for Persons with Disabilities. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And also Dr. Khadiga Bedwelhy, PhD in computer science, and also won the first place in Africa Business Heroes competition. Good morning.
Good morning for you.
Well, let's start with you, sir, Dr. Sharkawy. Can you talk to us about the importance of the activities and projects that is implemented by the Academy?
Okay. Thank you very much for having us today.
It's our pleasure, sir.
It's our great pleasure, actually, and to be celebrating this month for that represents the country's concern for varieties of people with disabilities.
Yes.
Actually, the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology is very much concerned with this file, if you wish. And let me actually shed a light on the National Academy of Information Technology for People with Disabilities. Actually, it's an abbreviation, it's NAID actually. It's an initiative by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi actually. This came as an initiative in conjunction with Law 10 for varieties of people with disabilities. And it was actually inaugurated in 2019.
Yes.
So the main objective actually for NAID is to become an internationally recognized regional hub to support the research and development of assistive technologies.
Yes.
And assistive technologies based on ICT, obviously, because we're part of MCIT.
Yes.
So assistive technologies, these are very important tools to enable and to include people with disabilities and to make their daily life more easier.
Yes.
And to include them in the society, actually.
Yes. Yes. So, Dr. Khadija, you won the first place in Africa Business Heroes competitions. So, could you give us an idea about this prize?
Sure. So, Africa Business Heroes competition is done by Jack Ma from China, and it's a competition that is done yearly to acknowledge the top 10 business heroes or like entrepreneurs in the continent.
Yes.
And to see their impact on the continent, how they can change lives. So out of 12,000 applications, they choose 50, and then they start going from 50 till 20 till 10, and then the top 3. And we were crowned the first in Africa, the first time actually.
Yes.
A lady gets it from a North African country, and we were proud to represent Egypt in it.
Yes. How many were you? 10?
We were 12,000.
12.
Till then 50,
No,
and then 50. We started by 50.
Yes.
And then going till 20, then
Yes.
10, and then the top 3.
Yes. Yes.
So we were the
how do you see the importance of the state supporting? How did the state support you in this competition?
So of course, since we started and the exposure started and talking about the competition, a lot of people started talking to us and saying how they can support us. So of course, starting by Dr. Abdel Monem and NAID, and
Yes.
because we had a part in the competition related to the a reality challenge. So choosing a concept that can change lives, and we chose actually to work with people with disabilities. So we got a lot of support from NAID because we are accelerated there in this part, in this aspect. We've also worked a lot with universities like Ain Shams, Dr. Bedwelhy. A lot of people were supporting us, really, MCIT, and
Yes.
started asking how can we help. And in this aspect, we did a very important thing at the very end of the competition, actually. It was called an initiative, and it was very important. We called it People of Determination, Future Scientists.
Yes.
And I can tell you more about it in later.
Yes. So, Dr. Sharkawy, you've he was just praising the role of the state and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in supporting people with determination. Actually, the President in the year 2018 have allocated a special year for people with determination. Also, what we have witnessed a few days ago was a ceremony or an event celebrating for the third consecutive year celebrating talking about the people with determination, and we saw the attitude of the president and how much he was affected and was really supporting not these people, the people with determination, not only as the president symbolizing Egypt, but as a human being. So
Yes.
could you give us your insight concerning this?
Actually, it was a great pleasure and an honor actually to meet His Excellency during this event, and
Yes.
I think it's called Differently Enabled.
Yes.
We had a couple of booths as MCIT there to show our progress and our some of our initiatives in this direction actually. It was a great event actually, and it's definitely a great honor, and His Excellency he's very affectionate, if I may
Yes,
say, actually,
and
about
even he cried.
PWDs
He was so affected,
actually.
yes.
And this shows the human aspect of Egypt's nation actually.
Yes.
So let me actually shed a light more on MCIT's efforts in this regard actually. So let me tell you that we consider them as our families actually.
Yes.
So they're part of the big family. So we work on different pillars, if you wish. So there is a pillar of empowerment. So I'm talking here about MCIT at large, and NAID is part of this activity actually. So we work in integration and collaboration with different entities within MCIT. So NAID is an affiliate of MCIT, and also with all stakeholders within the community and society, because
Yes.
this needs to be a collaborative effort. So there are different pillars, if you wish, that we work through. So the empowerment and the training, their training and the training of their service providers and their caregivers, because it's a whole ecosystem actually. So there is the other pillar, which we are very much concerned with, is to avail the assistive tools for them. And in this, we work in collaboration with all partners, including developers, entrepreneurs, R&D. Actually, we do have a collaboration with Ain Shams University right now,
Yes.
via NAID actually. And the other important aspect is to make the services enable to them, or to enable the services.
Yes.
And by enablement here, it means that we look at their special needs and we try to make this service enabled. So let me give you one example that this was actually an initiative by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi.
Yes.
And obviously Dr. Amr Talat, our minister, he is very much supportive and supporting us a lot in this direction actually. So we have a relay center, and this relay center was the first of its kind, as far as I know, in Africa and in the Middle East too. So it's a kind of it's actually an application for the deaf and hard of hearing. They can't really communicate like us. So they communicate with sign language.
Yeah.
So we make an application available for them, which is called Wasl, and we are availing some services there, which is like the emergency, the police services,
Yes.
and the fire department services, and as well as right now the electricity services. And there's also when COVID came in, so we made like a chatbot available on this application.
Yes.
So what happens is that when they're when they have an emergency or something like this, they open the application, they tap on the right button, they get connected with the relay center.
Yes.
So we have specialists at the relay center who can communicate with the sign language. We communicate with them, we take the complaint, and then we connect them with the right service, and then they get service.
Great.
So this is one example
Yes,
actually
yes.
of what MCIT
Yes. Yes.
is presenting to them.
Yes, great. Well, Dr. Khadija, now you won the first place in the Africa Full Business Series competition. So tell me, what are the qualifications needed in order to participate in this competition?
So there are like eligibility criteria. This the age, having a company or a startup that can do and have an impact on Africa. There's also making sure that it's feasible, so technically feasible, scalable, because they want you to scale and to be able to impact as much people as possible. So it's not like a niche area, for example. Making sure that the team can do what they are, just not like a plan or something, but they can do really what they are telling about. And so this is like the main criteria. And then afterwards, they choose like really the best people that they think they will impact the countries. And then they study. I mean, like, for example, the startups there, they were from all aspects. So education, agriculture, people related to medicine, everything. And the very interesting thing this year, which the judges themselves said, one aspect that this is why they chose us, is because education is affecting everything else. So if you come to agriculture or medicine, but so if you come to education, it's educating people to give them, exactly. So because of, especially that we are talking about STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, this is our future and this is the country's future. So when we educate people and graduate STEM graduates, this is as if we are helping the other startups because they need us. So they felt that education is the core, education is the solution to the challenges that Africa has, from all the challenges, whether it's poverty or clean water or anything. That's why they felt that we are the right person or the right team to win the competition.
Yes, yes. Dr. Sharkawy, now how does the Academy prepare people with determination to the labor market?
Okay, so we actually had several initiatives. Actually, this is in collaboration with I'm not sure how to say it in English, but معهد نظم معلومات بالقوات المسلحة.
The institution for information.
Yes, at the Egyptian information of the Egyptian army,
Yes,
actually.
the Egyptian army.
So we had initiatives to train PWDs on ICT tools,
Yes.
for the purpose of enabling them to be ready for the labor market. Yes, and actually we have a central department actually for social development at MCIT, and this was actually announced during the event that you just talked about,
Yes.
which is enabled or differently enabled, and they worked on, actually this is engineer Hoda Dahroug, a colleague. So they are working on like a network or a portal and a network to link PWDs with the labor market, actually.
Yes.
So let me actually, if you wish, actually. So we are actually supporting, particularly for assistive technologies as need, at different levels, actually. So Dr. Khadiga is actually a great example for our youth entrepreneurs, and there is a lot actually to be done still. So she's actually trying to adapt her tools, which are the virtual labs, for the sake of PWDs and to be used, and we are actually working with her on that. Yes. So, but we have different stages to support the research and development for assistive technologies, because assistive technologies, they rely on core technologies, general core
Yes.
technologies, whether they are AI or mobile applications or whatever, but there needs to be special attention for usability and to follow standards and quality control. So from this vision, actually, we are, or MCIT, we are developing an excellence center that is hopefully going to be we are going to open it within the next few months. This is part of a big project that MCIT is working on, which is the Knowledge City. And it's a consortium of MCIT affiliates, including the new university EUI, which is actually working right now. We are part of this consortium. In addition, obviously, with our colleagues from ITI, NTI, ITIDA, and other affiliates. So the objective there, we're going to be having a building there, and it's going to represent an excellence center, or part of the building is going to be an excellence center, but is going to have a spectrum of labs to support the research of and development of assistive technologies for different types of disabilities. And it's going to be really on an international scale, and this is the objective, and the hope is to kind of tie the ecosystem, if you wish, and enable them via availing facilities in collaboration and integration with all other entities and stakeholders, including other research institutes, universities, and other entities as well.
Yes. Dr. Khadija, tell me about the experience of this prize that you won. How did you prepare yourself for it? Were you sure that you're going to win?
Okay, so a difficult question, but preparing. So I'm a university lecturer, so I'm used to studying all my life, so until today. And I always say to everyone...
How did you apply for this competition?
So we already knew about it because one of our colleagues here in Egypt won in the second place 2 years ago. So I already knew about it. I wanted to apply this year because I felt we are in the right track, in the right progress to be able to win, and I was very optimistic about it. So when we applied, as I was telling you, I'm just used to learning and studying all the time. And this is something I learned from my father. He always said, you will not be like an expert in something. You need to keep practicing. So practice, practice, practice. And this is what I've done. Like my daughter was laughing at me because I had to put a lot of sticky notes in front of me. So just prepare yourself, whether it's myself or the whole team. We wanted to prepare. So the platform must be ready. The company, they must see that the company is able to do, to have an impact on the society and on the African lives. Myself, I should be ready for any kind of questions because they really are grilling you in terms of questions. It's not easy at all. We had like several judges, and they are experts in their fields. They asked all kinds of questions, again, about the company, yourself. So I was studying, as I was saying, as if I have an exam, studying all the time to be ready and prepare myself. So I think it's not that just like, as I was saying in another interview, it's usually the dreams are not attained by just wishing. It needs to do a lot of effort. So this is what I'm used to, just doing a lot of effort, me and my team, to win and to be able to represent Egypt in such a prestigious competition.
Yes. So, Dr. Sharkawy, let's have a look at the speech by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi during the ceremony, the third, actually, held for the third year. Well, that was under the title "Capable with the Differences." The President said that Egyptians support people with determination, and also said that he said that he wants to make a fund for people with disabilities or people with determination. Could you give us your insight concerning the President's idea for making a fund for this?
Actually, that's a great idea, actually. And His Excellency is always supportive for PWDs, actually. And I can't be more appreciative for this direction, actually, and for his support. So let me tell you something about one of the initiatives that was announced during the event, actually, and this was to support schooling and schools, actually. Actually, MCIT, via NAID, we just had an agreement or an MOU with the Ministry of Education to support technologically schools to become inclusive, because by law now, all schools are supposed to be inclusive schools. So we do have a plan in collaboration with the Ministry of Education to actually support schools in terms of their ICT info and infrastructure. and also provide them with assistive tools to facilitate the education of PWDs. And another thing that was announced was training the teachers to use these tools and to know how to deal with PWDs and make the educational experience for them much more easier, because it is very important to for the early intervention in terms of their education and to prepare them for higher education as well. So I was really very glad to hear such initiatives actually,
Yes.
and we're trying to work hard within the lines that are being announced and directed by the top management of the country actually.
Yes. Dr. Khadija, concerning your insight or your point of view concerning the initiative of establishing a fund for people with determination, which is the idea of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, do you think that this is something that it's not just the President is sure that it's not just going to collect some money for the people with determination, but it's going to send a message for people of determination from the Egyptian people that all people supports them?
Exactly. This is what we've seen in the event that you talked about, and we've seen how the president was very concerned about involving people with disabilities with us. I love to call them people with determination. I've worked with them for the last, maybe Dr. Monem has been working with years, but I worked with them only for the last 2 months, and I've seen how they have amazing capabilities. They are just exactly like us, and they have equal opportunities, and this is what the president was calling for, to make sure that they have the same kind of resources, the same kind of opportunities that we have, and there is no any differences between us. And this is exactly what we've done in the competition. And with Dr. Abdel Monem, it's related to the president's initiative and the fund, and I'll just mention a quick brief about it, because what we are doing is enabling better practicing in lab work through our virtual labs. And when we thought about PWDs, we found that they are not able at all to study sciences, whether in schools or even in the universities. And that's what exactly we wanted to change. So I think we are going in the same path as the president, and we hope we will be able to help them as well.
Yes. So, excuse me, we are going to have a short break, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be back with our interview.